Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Lisa Fillingham, good to see you. I don't need to get personal, but you know how I get. I was showering this morning. Personal hygiene is high on the list. And I said, I just felt that I'm supposed to say hi to every single solitary person. So Lisa Waskelowitz, Barry Sayowitz, there's an iPad in my top right corner. So if your thing says iPad, you might want to throw your name up there so I can say, hey, how's it going? Lisa Fillingham in Texas, Janet Spadola. I don't know her geographic location. Steve I with the hat, the grandfather, the newest grandfather of Forrest, adorable. Coach Dibbs and Henry Mark, a dear friend for a long time, and we're having fun together building his brand. And Robin Sharp in England. It's slicker time in England. I love that. Emma Willard School. Veronica Pagani. Nice to meet you. Miss Anna, big fat kiss. Diana Borelli. Samantha Gatza. My mom, Barbara Kelly Cole in Harwichport, Massachusetts. So iPad top right corner, if you want to just try to make your name, rename yourself, I will say hi.
Hi, my name is Maddie. I'm trying to rename it. My things are locked.
That's okay. So your name's Patty?
Maddie, M as in Mary. Yep.
Maddie, nice to meet you. It's
Nice
new
to meet
for
you.
me to meet you. So nice to meet you. Veronica, new to meet you. Miss Anna, Diana, Samantha, my mom. Okay, Lisa Plant, Massachusetts. Tracy Les, Ashley Priest, girlfriend. Don't go. Rockstar and Trust. Hold on. Let's see what's going on here. I need to get rid of my chat so I can read names. Elena, nice to see you. Liesel, our speaker today is amazing. Double dipping, I love it. Sissy Spazzato, because she's my sissy. You can call her Sissy. She'll take it. She loves it. Everyone calls her Sissy. Oh my gosh, look at you guys are so cute. Cindy Ray, Jamie, how's it going? Miss Jamie, oh my gosh. Hi, Curtis. So then there's guys that are on here that are just, names. I know that there's Monica Murphy, there's Rosie, there's Marianne, there's Jamie Lieberman's on twice, so maybe she's on the phone also, Kim Frisvold, Jean Lee, I've got some phone numbers. So it's one of those things that you all know, Amy Cole just believes that when the spirit says do something, I want to do it. And I want to honor the divinity in each and every one of us because we are special and we are divine. And that's how I feel and that's what I'll stand on. So I want to welcome everybody to virtual breakfast. It's called Industry Insights Career Zoom. This is a place where you get to be you and I get to be me, which is really a great feeling. I'm going to close my chat. I don't need to see all that stuff. I can't concentrate on too many things. I get too jitsy, to be very honest with you, right? So how's that? But this is, as I always say, welcome, number one, welcome, welcome, welcome. And number two, a little bit about who I am for those of you, Maddie's new, there's a few Veronicas that are new and things like that, and everyone that's welcome and new, amen. But, I'm Amy Cole. I come from 20 years of executive search in the consumer goods, apparel, manufacturing, wholesale category in beauty and home and fashion. And I'm a staffing expert, really, is what happened in my career. And from the guts, from being an executive recruiter and having to package everyone for my business, I ended up loving and falling in love with career coaching and helping my candidates better package themselves so that they are ready to be ready in the marketplace. Because let's face it, you get the 30, 60 second, 90-second pitch when you're interviewing. And through that, I just ended up coaching the past 12 years and would take on a private client every so often. So staffing expert, recruiter for companies, career coach, and currently leadership and development speaker, helping businesses right now on diversity, equity, and inclusion, on how to staff during this time of virtual interviewing and how to handle what's going on with the onslaught of candidates that they're getting through the internet, which is what you're experiencing. This call generally is a great many men and women that are looking for roles. We are at Virtual Breakfast Information, right? It's inspiration. Inspirational inspiration. It's an hour, it's a resource, career connections. Everyone on this call is of great value, and I mean that from the guts. It's a gorgeous network. I can say that, number one, from myself, and you'll also find that the genuine beauty of the people that do arrive every single Wednesday are amazing and are willing probably to chat with you as well. We are different leaders in different industries. All right, it's a judge-free zone. We come from various backgrounds, so we put it all out there. We're definitely a highly motivated cast of characters, which I like to remind everybody because we're here and we're showing up and we're on our 40-something virtual breakfast that just quickly came to be the minute COVID-19 hit. How the heck do we talk to each other? So we threw a career Zoom virtual breakfast out there, and I said, come on to the table, let's keep chatting. It's for me. I need it too. I need it really a great deal. It helps me keep on the pulse of what's going on in the industry so that I can better my business in finding clients to hire that will then hire you. And it is a place of accountability. It's a place of empowerment and accountability. So this virtual breakfast is for all of us. You will find, and I don't apologize for high standards. I expect that when you're on this Zoom, and this also came to me today, guys, this is the new normal. This is your industry association breakfast. This is how you show up. Are the lips on? Is your name on your Zoom? Why is that important? Some people put their name and their category of what they do, which is another wonderful trick, so that when someone's looking for someone like that, you can say, oh my gosh, you know what? There isn't a recruiter on a call that I go on every week. Her name's Amy Cole. Let me check in with her. All right. This is the way you're building your brand today. This is your Zoom. This is your opportunity to say, this is what I stand for in the marketplace. And when I show up lips on with the lighting correct, right? I'm not going to get into all the little nuggets, but some of you own a $14.99 ring light from Amazon that allows you to look even better every Wednesday in every single meeting that you go on, even if you're connecting with your cousins, right? Look, play the part, sorry kids, this is the new norm. You are gonna, for another 12 months, be calling on your cutie pie nieces and nephews online. All right, so take it from personal to professional. Professional, you need it. Well, you also want to stand out in your family and show them how much you love them and be you and be ready. So we're definitely stronger together. I can stand by that. And it is a place where I feel that it's an inner circle. So we value your insights. We value your opinions. I want to give as much as I possibly can. And why do I do this? I'm going to tell you for many reasons, but I know right now that we all do need to pivot. There is no hidden secret out there that the market is challenged. The market is new. It is moving at the speed of light. Look at how things have become streaming and digital and the communication. We no longer pick up the phone. Nobody has a corporate phone number. I mean, it's insanity. I'm in biz dev all day and I've got to get someone's cell phone. And, if they don't respond with a signature and a phone number, I'm lost as an Easter egg. Like, well, how am I calling this guy back? He says, yeah, call me Tuesday. Well, how am I calling you? And you write to him, what's your phone number? Dead silence. Like, thanks. You're experiencing that on the flip side as you're throwing your resume into the black hole, or you're applying and reaching out to brands that of interest to you and not getting responded to. It is the similar. And so this is, we're stronger together in the market if we continue to educate each other. That's one of the reasons why we're here. It's a whole new work-life paradigm. And it is uncharted territory. We're getting more used to it. Okay, we're 10 months into a pandemic, now 11, I should say. So digital is kind of yesterday's news and Zooming is yesterday's news, but how you're showing up shouldn't be. It should be as it transforms into new things, you need to be transforming. And as the market is opening, I want you to be ready, right? God's got that plan. This is a place to be faith-based and not fear-based. I don't want people to sit here frozen. I want you to know, okay, I'll come on Wednesday. I'll get a little injection, get an injection of information and inspiration from others, from Amy, from myself, just acknowledging what you're doing. So we have limited time on the call. I would love to give you all of the things that I have to offer when it comes to helping you better brand yourself to be ready for the market. So hang tight. At the very end, we'll talk a little bit about how you can engage more greatly with Amy Cole Connect as an opportunity to build up who you need to be. And if you've got a question about if you're eligible for jobs or what are your transferable skills, we will talk a lot about that today in our session as well. But so hang tight and we will get to it, but you are in the right place. This is for you. Welcome and thanks for coming for sure. So my husband, adorable, says to me, you never slow down. So let me slow down and say that if you remember last week, we did a lot of mindset. And in fairness to you, I was preaching to the choir, right? How mindset is a conscious choice. Happiness is a choice, right? Are we looking at things right now as an obstacle? Are we looking at things as hurdles? Or are we expanding our perspectives? And, you know, we don't want to let the turkeys get us down, right? Of course not. But we're human. We're human. And last week I mentioned negative delete. When you have a negative thought, snap the finger, say negative delete, right? Rewire the brain, the quick snap program to the brain, negative delete. And I've actually been using it the past few days. Why? And I'm always upfront. It's just I've been feeling overwhelmed, right? The snow came down, I don't know, 18 inches. It's pretty. I did, of course, go out for the walk, but I think a lot of it is that trying to find the new client piece, trying to find the new job piece, you know? And so it's a mind shift. It's the mind shift that makes the difference in our market right now, right? And the other thing is living beyond our feelings. Okay, my feeling may have said, Aim, you're discouraged, right? But this is, first of all, it's not of God. It's not of who we are, right? We have to trust in our source. So whoever your source is, I'm not imposing my source on you, but I know from the guts that there is an ultimate plan for your life and mine. So instead of feeling lethargic, which I kind of did, and not motivated, you know, it's just been getting long, right? Not going to the gym, not swimming with my team, saying no to my girlfriends who said, "Look, should we get together for dinner?" No. Should we meet my mom on Cape Cod? No. I mean, come on, I haven't seen my cutie pie except on Zoom. So we're all being super conscious and conscientious for others. I love it. But it's just such a ho-hum. I don't know, it's just such a ho-hum. Anyway, I don't want to say I felt hopeless, because if I use the word hopeless, it means I'm right. I'm giving into hopeless, and I don't like that. It's not me. I'm not hopeless. That's the feeling I had. It's not the truth, right? 18 inches of snow and the discouragement for a minute, thanks to negative delete, snap that finger, like we talked about. You know, the truth is I can live beyond that feeling. Feelings are fleeting. So and it's because I have that relationship, knowing that I've got that purpose, right? Knowing that God's got a purpose for my life, no matter what I feel the minute, the hour, or the day. Now, it's not easy. I'm not telling you anything that this is easy. I'm just saying that we have to trust in, right? Let the feeling go. Let's live beyond our feelings, and let's trust in what's meant to be. I mean, you have done such incredible, crazy, amazing things, and you will do them again. So today you might be discouraged. Today you might have another application that, I mean, I speak to senior executive level people quite often, daily, as a matter of fact. And third round, Amy, you know what? They went with another candidate. I get it. That feeling stinks. But it's not the truth forever. It isn't, right? The amazing you is going to come out on the other side, right? God works things all out for the good of you. That's it. And it may not feel that way, but I want us to all remember that to live beyond the feelings, and it's harder to go through the feeling. Listen, I get nervous every time we get on Wednesday morning, and then it's over and people say, thanks so much for helping, or whatever today was. I know that this is important right now for me and for all of us to get together every Wednesday, right? So I trust that God's put me in that place for just a minute, right? I mean, the guy cracks me up. You got to know this from the guts, okay? Why do I say that? If I lived in my feelings, here's a great example, and one I probably shouldn't share, but I will. Single for 50 years. Do you not think that that was a lonely feeling? Do you not think that that was a feeling I didn't like? And then, kerplunk, I meet the great guy. I mean, sorry, right? If I let my feelings get me down like it would never happen, which, believe me, many Saturday nights it did, I lived beyond it, right? I said, Aim, keep the faith. Keep the faith. So I share that, A, to be honest, B, to be vulnerable, B, to let you know that, yeah, it's 10 months and we still don't have a job, and it stinks. And companies are not calling me to hire quite yet the way I thought they would. I have one or two and they're random, okay? I call everybody. I thought it would be an overflow, right? But happiness is our choice. Trusting and knowing and believing that the future is bright is our choice, right? And if it happens to be you today, that you live in that yummy place, like Elisa, you know, Coach Dibs, right? Which is amazing, and I love it. Then if you feel that zip, go share it. That's what I have to say. Go share it, right? Reach out to someone that could use the reminder that they're amazing and fabulous and great. And that there's a future and hope, because there is. I mean, they say it's scriptural that when you need something, you should do the same thing that you need for somebody else. You're looking for a little cash, you need a little top up on your bank account, give to somebody, donate. They say that it opens up the whole can of worms, and all of a sudden financial fitness comes your way. I'm in that space. That's the space of abundance. That's not scarcity thinking, that's abundance thinking. Same thing with the workplace, guys. There are abundant opportunities for us. There are abundant clients for Amy Cole. Everybody in this Hollywood square, there is an abundantness. So in addition to the negative delete, right? And to help rewire your brain from self-critical, talking to Amy Cole, you know, we're going to hell in a handbasket, that kind of thinking. I'll never get that job. I'll never open up a door. Negative to abundant self-acceptance, love, and empowerment, right? Let's give to ourselves the way we want to give to others. So please don't just jump off this Zoom and get busy again. Take a minute to reflect on the feelings. Are they valid? Do they really, just because today's tough, does it really mean it's tough forever? Right? Reflect on all that you have, on what you've accomplished. Reflect on that, you know that you can live beyond those feelings. So I don't know, did anybody need to hear that today? I needed to hear it. Throw it in the chat if that was helpful. If it was something that you liked. I'm going to quickly look at the chat just for fun. I love interacting as much as I can. 12 chats. Okay. Yep. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Right. Yes. Yes. Jamie Lieberman, cute. Absolutely. Veronica, welcome. Exactly. Right. Yes. Needed to hear that. Exactly. It's just a little reminder. So call a friend, right? One ringy dingy. And remind yourself, good, yes. And I am open for a reason, because I need to be open, because it only helps us feel better about what we're up to. So I love that we're, you know, okay, so I have to ask, because it's so much fun. Did anyone use negative delete from last week? Anybody? Throw it in the chat if you did. And when did you use it? Always, couldn't hurt, Lisa Plant. Yeah. Isn't it funny though? Negative delete, negative delete. So Maddie, you weren't here last week, but we talked about when you start to decide that something isn't going to work out, negative delete. Now, it's an activity to tell your brain that's not the truth. And it's one of those mind shifts. I'm doing a lot of reading on the neurological background of your brain, neurology, and how you can actually rewire the brain to wake up and say, you know what, you're right. Marianne Huntington, I love this girl. Yeah, exactly. Negative delete. I learned this in a mastermind class, and the guy, we would crack up, because if we got speaking and we said something that was going down the negative rabbit hole, so we got a kick out of it. Anyway, so guys, here is what happens every week on Virtual Breakfast. We're here to get your professional edge on. You have a professional edge. I know it, you know it, now we got to tell the world. There are 5 P's to your professional edge. In my coaching, you will sit down with me and we will talk about these 5 P's, because they are foundational. It is your purpose. It is your personal brand. It is your professional profile. It is your partnerships and your career positioning. All of them give you power pump, the edge. I got the edge. So your purpose is innately what you think you're called to do, right? The God purpose thing, the innate, what comes to you naturally, where you sing, where you swim. The branding is how you deliver your skills and expertise. I'm hiring you for your skills and expertise, but in this market, I need it to be branded. I need you to come with your skills and expertise, because you're a leader. You do it methodically. You do it with passion. It comes with humor. Not every manager is humor driven. Not every manager is mentorship driven. Sometimes managers are strategic driven. I need all 3 of those soft skills in different places. So whatever your soft skill is, that brand that changes why you're a manager, then guess what? That's the skill. That's who you are. That's the authentic Amy Cole. That's the authentic you. That's the authentic Janet. That's the authentic Lisa. So go with it. Okay. And the profile is how you're putting that on your resume, your LinkedIn, your cover letters, your thank you notes, your bios, your digital footprint. That professional profile is the culmination of your purpose and your brand and your skills and expertise. That is the yummy nugget. Once you've got that nailed, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, how you can join a class of ours so we can talk more about this, is you then can go after your networks and partner with them and say, hi, partner, this is what I bring to the table. If you cannot concisely, clearly talk about what you have to offer, they can't help you at all, nor can I, the recruiter. So this is coming from a recruiter perspective. If you can't articulate your gifts and expertise, okay, then I can't then go help and market you, nor can your cousin, nor can your husband who wants you to get a new job and wants to see you happy. Lastly is positioning. Where are you putting all those things? So those 5 P's are what we talk about a great deal in my methodology of helping men and women find jobs today, in addition to applicant tracking systems and how you're getting sucked into the fields when you apply online and things of that sort. So that's the technology behind finding a job, but who you are is what's going to get you that job. So that's every week we go through that, and every week we have an opportunity to learn more from an industry expert, and that's what brings me great joy, to invite these industry experts. Last week we spoke to a guy named Michael Pesci, and he was a private investigator of all things and now a serial entrepreneur. I mean, and his takeaway for us was that curiosity has gotten him involved in the next step of every one of his career moves. I loved it. Curiosity didn't kill the cat on this one. This guy is a fat cat. He is darling, he is giving, and he's enjoyed the challenges and the hurdles in being an entrepreneur and received them and embraced them, right? So I want us to always listen to our industry experts, right? These are men and women that I've either quickly gained a relationship with. In Michael Pesci's case, I had met him just a couple weeks ago. Today, I'm talking to a woman who I've known for over 35 years. Now that's crazy, and we'll get into that later. But she has grown up in the e-com business in very senior levels and going to teach us how we all fit in and how her trajectory has changed her career life as she's grown with it. And so I want you to listen from a new perspective. As opposed to the closed door, it's walk away from the feelings that this is too much and hear the transformation, right? You're smart. You know your industry, right? So what does it teach you? What does this industry teach you so that you can broaden your horizons? Think partnerships, think complements, not competition, right? Competition is a thief of joy. Thank you, Teddy Roosevelt. Don't compete or compare. Comparison is the thief of joy, excuse me. Don't compare to somebody that's already got a relationship in the e-com world just because you may not yet. Yet is the word. Yet is the word, right? How do you better your processes and your knowledge of who you are and what you have to offer? Okay. So as I've grown with these executives and learned from them, I want you to enjoy it. I want you to enjoy it. So today we're going to dig in deeper into e-com, and I'm going to share with you, as I say, listen with the open eyes. You know, don't just say, oh, that was great for her, but not for me, right? Negative delete, negative delete. That's just a feeling. It's just a feeling. It's just a minute of a feeling. So I want you to get excited, because today, and the more we learn about this stuff, and I'm learning too, the better we get, right? And just know that God's got the plan. He's opening that door. He knows the one connection you need to talk to, right? You talk to 50, but it takes one. It takes one cute guy to walk down the aisle. And, you know, so that's kind of fun. So I'm going to share a poll today so that we have an idea of where the pulse of everybody. Okay. Oh, here it is. Launch the poll. Oh, no, hold on. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to launch a poll for you kids to answer some questions. And I'm going to invite our speaker to speak and also speak more deeply on the things that we're talking about. Here it goes. Oh. You kids are good. 1 minute and 39% of you are in. I like it. Thirty more seconds, guys.
Amy,
Yes?
I don't know how to do a poll on my phone when I'm trying to do this, just so you know.
Okay.
I've tried
Okay,
to
so
take
you know what,
me.
Lisa, I have to be honest, I don't know how to do a poll on the phone either. Does anybody in this group know how to do a poll on a phone?
Like, I've clicked everything and I can't get to it, so.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
well.
So you're
I'm
meditating.
on,
Oh, well.
Negative delete, you're meditating for 2 minutes. Negative delete,
Yeah.
okay.
you have to.
I'm on my phone
vote.
and it just clicked on whatever answer I wanted and it worked.
Oh, okay, who's speaking?
Was Coach Dibbs. I was just gonna say, you gotta just make sure you're scrolling to the bottom.
Okay, Lisa Fillingham, scroll to the bottom. Or try that. All right, kids, we have about 12 more seconds. We should do a session on Zoom expertise. I'm gonna put that on a sticky note for another, right? Okay, I'm gonna end our poll. I'm gonna share the results. And then we're gonna jump into Liesl, who will dig deeper. I'm gonna share things that I feel about these answers, but she is gonna teach us a little bit more as well. So UI is a user interface design. And it's the series of screen pages, visual elements like buttons and icons that enable a person to interact with the computer. Yes, it is. User interface is like when you're going to Saks Fifth Avenue and you only wear size 8 shoes. So when you do the drop down, I only want to see the sale shoes that are size 8. That is the interface. The interface makes the experience easier and more fluid for the consumer. So you have a designer that understands the back end that makes the interface seamless and work. So good job. Yes, you guys, 86% of you picked the right answer. Customer journey is the process of an online sale to deliver or the complete online sum of experiences. I am going to have Liesl talk a little bit more about the journey because this is important. But yes, number one is the fulfillment. Now, why am I sharing all this before I give you all this, and why did I create this poll anyway? I want you to see the transferability of your skill set to this skill set with an e-com business that is growing, all right? So the customer journey is a lot of things to a lot of people, but it is in the world of e-com, the complete online sum of experiences the customer goes through, right? The process of the sale is the fulfillment. So think logistics and supply chain if you are in the wholesale industry. So there you go. Good job. What skills are necessary for successful? Well, I'm going to tell you what, this was a trick question. All of these are, and look at these answers. They're all pretty incredibly equal with the exception of analytical. Yes, analytical teaches you a great deal about the conversion of your web and what is doing, but you have to understand search engine optimization. Writing is critical. How do you market and write in this space? And this was an article that I read about how does one shift careers in e-commerce and find transferable skills. I am doing a great deal of work with senior executives and executives, everyone like you guys, about that transferable skill set into the marketplaces that are growing. That is why we are bringing this up again. So yes, understanding search engine, writing skills, period, the end, we all own them and have them and should embrace them. Analytical, yes, of course. And then market research. No e-commerce site survives without understanding the market trends and where they fit into the market. Just like you need to know how your service fits into a corporation or your delivery of what you offer. You know, if you do promotional products like Steve Isaacson, what companies need those right now since events are no longer that happening in person? Are companies buying them and shipping them to their clients or to the man or woman that joins an event, right? So there are things to think about. If you don't understand your market, then you're just throwing spaghetti against the wall. E-commerce increased 21.3% in 2020 and up 15. And yes, that is true. That's a new statistic that just came out. Okay, AWS, this is fun. Oh, Awesome Web Services, Amazon Web Services, and Avid Web Services. Good job for everybody. It is Amazon Web Services, and Amy Cole had to look that up after a conversation yesterday. So thank you for doing that. All right, I am going to stop sharing and I am going to open up our conversation with Liesel. Hello, Miss Liesel. Where am I finding you? Hold everything. Oh, there you are, gorgeous girl. Okay. Yeah, if you could unmute you. You're still muted, kiddo. So I will give you the 1-2 on Liesel as she figures out her, which is all good in the hood. Liesel and we are high school, a couple of years apart in high school. We have mutual friends. We have not kept in touch a great deal, but recently, due to a few things and the dynamic of the business that she's in, we've reached out to each other and said hello. So this is a woman who I admire greatly for many reasons. Number one is, you know, in high school, how do you not love your dear, dear friends? Number two is the business trajectory that she, you know, when we talk about digital natives, our children, our nieces, our nephews, Liesel grew up in e-com professionally. She has gone through the trenches, the ups and the downs, and, you know, a varied background from, and this is where I'm going to ask you to teach us a little bit. She's head of e-commerce, a CXO, which is a chief experience operator, another acronym we could get to know, CRM, customer insights leader. These are all the different senior level opportunities in the e-com world. She happens to understand all of them, and therefore it's interwoven into her past. So I want you to share, Liesel, your first name, your industry, and then a little bit about yourself for 2 seconds, and then we'll talk about, you know, your varied background and how it happened between, I'll share Gap, Party City, Restoration Hardware, Petco, big brands. Welcome and thank you for being here.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, I can, but you know, maybe your
Yeah.
volume.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? Got it. Yeah.
Better?
Yes.
Okay, great. So yeah, Amy, thank you for the introduction. Liesel Walsh. I came from, I'm in New York City. It's the Empire State Building behind me. And everybody thinks when I'm on Zoom calls that it's a fake background, but it's actually my real background.
I love it.
So lucky. I am most recently sort of working in e-commerce, and I just picked up a little bit of a consulting gig. So as Amy said, I came into the e-commerce world very, very early, but from a background of catalog, which the cool thing about that and the relationship in the story is that coming out of the catalog world, I moved to San Francisco kind of at the beginning of the bubble of e-commerce. And there were a lot of people trying to figure out e-commerce, young and old, and as if no one had ever done this kind of business before. But the truth is, catalog businesses have been happening since, like, you know, 1810 with the Sears catalog, right? The idea that you had, you know, something to read about a product and you had a way to order it. You know, you used to write it in by letter and send it in the Wells Fargo man, and the things would come. This is what e-commerce is. It's just speeded up. It's just technology. It's the same thing, right? And so taking all the things that I learned in catalog, you know, order fulfillment, customer service, tracking item numbers and styles, looking at what sold, how much did it sell, how much advertising did it get. In the catalog world, we would think about that as, you know, sort of product placement, or how much real estate did it have on the page? Did it have the cover? Then it should be driving more sales. I'm seeing people nodding who are in the merchandising world, probably. Lisa Waslowitz, that you have this idea of understanding from the customer directly to you, the company, what it is they're buying, tracking it, and then responding to that, making your offer better every single time. That's your critical thinking. So I brought that into the e-commerce business, which was very, very new. I'm in 1999, 1997. We're talking about, I worked at Gap Inc. They launched their first e-commerce business in 1997, and the second Banana Republic and Old Navy went up in 1998. So imagine that those businesses, that's that long ago, but at the time it was brand new to everybody. What I brought to the table at the time was that I had this whole experience of catalog. And so people were like head scratching, like, how do we identify the item, size, color in the, when the customer's ordering? And with pants, as men know, there's a huge number of size combinations, right? A lot of SKUs. So I was like, oh, that's easy. You present it in this way. This is how we used to do it in catalog. And it's how because you had all these people kind of coming to the table who were in wholesale, in retail stores. They didn't have the experience of this direct selling to consumer. So if you take away the e-commerce like label and you say, I'm just having a transaction directly with consumers, and then you think in our world today, we all have this all day long. 82% of US households belong to Amazon Prime. Like, I guarantee that all of us sitting at this table are shopping somewhere, somehow online at this point, and your personal experiences are completely valid in this. So if I'm a UI or UX expert, the first thing I do is sit down with the site and go through a transaction process and take notes and screenshots and say like, I went to enter the promo code and it didn't work. Like, what happened there? I was trying to figure out if I could.
So here's an interesting note, and I love this stuff. So I just mentioned UI, which is interface. So you tell them what the term UX stands for instead.
It's user experience, and people use them interchangeably, right? But again, it's that sort of screen flow from the customer perspective. What are the things they're seeing? How are those pieces of information being served up and captured and given back to them?
And would
right?
it be fair?
But again, like, these things are things you experience in your personal. You don't have to be a UX expert to look at a sort of a sales interface and be like, that's really awkward that I can't pay with my card until later. I would prefer to do that earlier, right?
Okay, yeah, because I mean, so there's some, like, for example, when I try to find transferable, how do we fit into the e-com world, which I know you're helping us. There's data analytics. So if you happen to be an analytic planner for J. Crew and you did, for example, numbers for your catalog, then, is it just a branding shift? Is it just you got to know somebody? Is it just so exactly the same? Like, what would you say for someone that is a financial analyst or that needs to get into this business or go from regular wholesale?
Yep. So I think what's the same is the critical thinking and the principles, right? Just like I talked about catalog, shipping direct to customer, those kinds of principles and how that works. It's the same for e-com, right? But the tools are different and the access to data is different.
Okay.
So you may have been, if you were at J. Crew, in financial planning, you may be used to looking at sort of operational data and kind of invoice data and some things like that. Now, if the business is shifting to be more e-commerce heavy, right, which is what's happening with retail in general, right? E-commerce is becoming a much bigger piece of the business. Now there are things to look at like traffic data, how many people visited the site, conversion, how many people bought based on how many people visited the site, right? It's a simple formula, orders divided by traffic. The average order value, right? So, and of that average order value, how is its components of units and average unit retail, right? So these are all things that you would have looked at in the context of your retail store. Now you actually have more data because it captures the entire experience, including people who came but didn't buy anything, which you can never see at your retail store. Like, you can see that maybe if you have traffic counters, you can see that people came in the door and didn't buy anything, but you never really can understand what they did while they were there. You don't know if they made it all the way to the back of the store. You don't know if they tried things on, you know. So in the e-commerce world, now you have access to all of that.
Right, like
if
when
you
you
think
leave your
about
car,
it from a,
sorry.
yeah, think about it from a curiosity perspective. If I'm a financial analyst, I'm like, what's happening that only 5% of the people who cross my threshold are buying? Now in the e-commerce world, I can ask that question and actually potentially get an answer, right?
Yeah.
So start to dig into the tools that allow me to see what happened to the sessions that didn't that didn't convert? What are the commonalities of those sessions? Oh, well, they never got past the homepage. Well, why is that? What am I advertising on my homepage that
Right.
isn't drawing them?
Okay.
That makes
And
sense.
I mean, there is so much information about e-com, and I mean, like I did a little bit of research on the jobs. Of course, the number one job right now in e-com is software engineer. Correct? Yeah. But then it goes right to operations. So what is a girl in operations doing for e-com? A girl or guy?
Yeah, so I think there are multiple areas of operations. People often talk about marketing operations, or merchandising operations, which is the process of, in merchandising, I call it sample to sale, right?
Okay.
So you've got to get the sample, you've got to photograph it, you've got to give it an item number, a price, a name. There's metadata. So when you talked about SEO, right? The metadata is this thing that Google engines read about the product. It is not necessarily what the customer sees, but it can be. And so those are the attributes of the product. And just like, again, old school merchandising, you're categorizing your items, you're looking at the performance of your category. That's going to help you say, are sweaters doing better than blazers on a conversion base against my category browses, right?
Okay.
So I just said a really confusing sentence. That translated means I had 40,000 people look at blazers and 100 of them bought a blazer. I had 40,000 people look at sweaters and 700 of them bought a sweater. My conversion rate on sweaters is better than my conversion rate on blazers. Okay,
It's
why?
just sell
There are
through.
more items.
It's like making
Exactly.
and I'm going to share with everybody and you. So I am now, because this is such a category, I'm going after companies that are all e-com based so that I can have more job opportunities, because that's where the jobs are. Okay. I mean, here's the story: doubling in 4 years, 95% of purchases will be online by 2040, which is you're singing that tune.
Mhm.
Why look for a job in e-com right now? It's basically the cousin to manufacturing. It's just a new delivery model. E-com has long-term growth. US alone, online shopping already accounts for 10% of retail sales and expected to grow year to year 15%. I mean, I'm on Forbes, I'm on different places. I know numbers alter, but we're the second largest e-com business in the world, although China's number one, but they've got billions of people. We only have 300 million. So yeah, I mean, I think what's happening for me is, because that's where the roles are, I want to get to know how this all works for people. So when I say sell through quickly, because I'm on the phone with a buyer or a senior buyer, and how do I help
Mhm,
her or
mhm.
him find that skill and position it? I mean, let's face it, and let's talk turkey as friends in a network. It's who we know, right? How we're going to get these jobs. Do you think it's still your number
Yeah,
one?
I mean, I think so. Yeah. I mean, it's also understanding what you know how to do, right? Understanding, like, when I say sell through to an e-commerce, somebody who's been in e-commerce their whole lives, they may or may not relate that to the
Right.
thing that we're talking
Terms,
about.
yes,
Right.
Mhm.
So you have to bridge the understanding of, like, how do I have that sell through conversation? Like, I know how to do sell through because I'm merchandising, has been there all my life, right? How do I know how to do that? And how do I demonstrate that I understand that there's a relationship between the way I used to assort on the floor or the way I used to plan inventory that exists in
Same.
e-commerce. You just have different inputs and you actually have better data back. So if you're a super curious person and you can be like, ask the question, like, could I know this? Oh, like, this is something I never could know in retail, but now I can know it. Right. That's another way to sort of show, excitement, curiosity, understanding your category. As a merchant, if you were able to know a lot more things about why people didn't buy something, for instance, you would be a better merchant, right? And your category would do better and your work would be better. So those are all things I think to think about getting excited about, is how in this new world, I can't think of a case in e-commerce where you don't get more data than you used to have.
Right. And
If that makes
for
sense,
those people
right?
that love and eat that stuff up, that's great. Okay. So this is what we ask every industry guest. It's personal. You got to get personal. What do you feel
Okay.
is the number one reason, or maybe the number one characteristic that you personally possess and cherish that has helped you in your success throughout your career?
I would say there are two. one of them is it's like a never say no thing. Like, and believing that we can do whatever it is, right? So crazy request comes from the CEO, and instead of saying no, you say, like, if I need to, let me get back to you, but like, let me give you options. Let me give you, like, that might be crazy, but like the Tesla guy is freaking sending people to the moon, right? He didn't go, oh, that's a dumb idea. He was like, I don't know, how much would it cost? Is there anybody who would pay that? Huh, yeah, actually there are people who will pay that. Maybe we should do it, you know? So I think that's a off the map example, but something as simple as when I was at Restoration Hardware, the images that we wanted to use were very, very heavy. And to get the quality of resolution we wanted, it basically brought the website to its knees. And our CEO said, but it's not good enough. Like, light images aren't good enough. This is beautiful, expensive product. I have to be able to see the stitching and the thread count in the linen, right? Make it so. Make it so, new web girl. Like, but I was afraid to say no to him, actually, at the time. And so I went and through curiosity, and saying, why not? Why can't we do this? Instead of listening to people just saying no to me, just pushing and saying, well, like, it seems like somebody should be able to do this. It might cost us more than we're willing to spend, but let me look at it from the opportunity side and say, you know, how could we make this possible, right? So I think those two things together, never saying no and then saying, like, how can we, have been really important in my career, especially when you're living in a place where, you know, you don't have any sense of the next innovation that's coming around the corner, right? You can't know.
Okay.
And things come really, really quickly. And they also only come if you ask for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So you have to kind of dream them.
Yeah,
and then
and
they
the
come.
visual and the mindset, and then yeah. So, Liesl, thank you so much. Listen, hang tight.
Yeah.
We say hello to some people in the audience in a second, or we'll get to everybody. But I'm going to just quickly thank you. I'm going to okay, hold on. Continue. Remove all spotlight videos. Continue. Okay, here we go. So, guys, I want to, you know, number one, everything I learned from, right? So, thank you for the explanation, Liesl, about some of more terms and the more terms I've got to take in and all that jazz. Here is one of the things that Liesl just said about the opportunity piece. Never say no, always listen. We have heard this week after week after week from all of industry experts. Say yes to networking meetings, say yes to trying new things, fail fast. What is it? Fail fast and get up. No, fail fast and something, get up faster, something like that. I forget what it is. But, you know, it is that place where we've got to realize that we do fit into this new economy, and that's where this economy is going. I am going to jump in and give you a quick, I'm going to share my screen, and I am going to bring us to a place where, you know, I told you that we would have a, hold on, I got to get organized. Okay, here we go. Share my screen. Yeah, so I want to share my screen and share with you one of the things that I am doing in a group setting in the coaching, okay? It's called Job Search University, and it is exactly what we talk about, which is what Liesl is sharing, and so have many of our guests. This is a bi-monthly, now I'm not sure can you guys see it? Can someone tell me if you can see it? I can tell. Shake your head. Yeah, you can. Okay. So we get together and we've had a great money success. 47% of our men and women who have joined Job Search University are currently working. This is a place to master your job search essentials, okay? And it is a place for you to build that confidence within your brand. I am not writing your resume, I am not writing your LinkedIn, but I am telling you how to go about that and what is important right now. We obviously check into your 5 P's of your professional edge. We create a strategy so that you can build the confidence to regurgitate, if you don't mind, realign, reposition the skills that you have that are relevant in Liesl's world, okay? She's very relevant. She's got job offers left and right. We're talking Gap, Petco, Party City, Restoration Hardware. Why? Because they're on the pulse in the e-com space and they're growing. Those guys have opportunities for senior level and middle level and junior level. I looked into a lot of them. I have a list of them over here. It's something that you guys should be Googling. But before you go say hello to people in that category, how do you fit into that category? So this is a place, it's live classes with me, training wise. It's $97 per month. Okay, you can go listen to the video if you want to chat the chat. But we're going to make sure that your job search is putting you in front of the right opportunities and your position so that it is an opportunity that is relevant for you, right? I want you to promote your expertise and your career experiences in the way that recruiters need to hear it. Sometimes you're interviewing with an HR director and you need to speak differently than the hiring director. Why? The HR director doesn't often know what the job really is. You've got to train her. You've got to take over and know your stuff so that you present to her. So she goes, okay, you got to talk to Bob. He's the hiring director. Right? Sometimes we don't get past that HR girl or guy. That's happening a lot out there. Also, the black hole. Is your resume ATS compatible? Applicant tracking service system, another acronym that you need to know as a job seeker out there. When you're being populated after you press apply on LinkedIn, is your resume in a format that's actually populating the fields that says you're right for that job? Search engine optimization, building out your circle of 8, your networks. That's all included in Job Search University, okay? And that's twice a month. And I invite you to come. It's me. And it's focused on you and your job search, helping you create a plan, be strategic, write your cover letters, write your thank you notes, do all of the above, and we do it with a group. And you know how I am as a human being. I'm going to whip you into shape, but I'm also going to give you a big fat kiss and templates to do it. So the other thing is that there is opportunity for you to, not opportunity for you, but there's a library for you to always go back and do everything. Okay. So I'm going to jump back. Whoopsie. To Zoom, and say hello to everybody. Okay, remove pin. Let's see. You know, everyone thinks this is so simple, and it should be. But let me see how I stop. Oh, stop share. Here we go. Stop share. Okay. So I welcome you guys to come and be a part of Job Search University, please. So Lisa, I'm going to have you throw that link in the chat, and then I am going to say hello. Miss Veronica, because I had not met Veronica, let's see where she went. Okay, let's see. Did I see her? Did I see you guys? Okay. Maddie, let's say hello. We were recently meeting. Spotlight for everyone. How are you?
Good. How's everybody doing today?
It's good. I'm going to ask you to state your name, your title, and your industry.
Sure. It's Madeline Aragali. I come from executive retail, wholesale, and e-commerce for 35 years.
Oh, there you go. Okay. And what's happening in your world right now?
Right now, my store had closed. I worked for Ascena, Lane Bryant. I went
sure.
back to smaller volume stores and loved it. I loved the interaction with the customer. But as I was listening to Liesel's presentation, it just got me so excited because I did e-commerce for 10 years and I kind of missed that. And I'm thinking of getting back into that again.
Okay, and what are you doing right now to get in front of a target audience or the opportunities that might be a good fit?
I'm currently working on my resume. I mean, I have one, but I feel like it needs to be updated and possibly making like 3 different versions of it, depending upon the job that I'm going to apply for.
Okay. All right. So this is you'll get to know me. I'm a pain in the cushy. I'm going to jump off you and put me on because I take this opportunity to share something, but this is basically is in response to what you just shared. Guys, I don't want you to have 3 resumes. I don't want you to have 4 resumes. I want you to have 1 resume with a profile, and all we need to do is change some key words in your profile. So if you're a compassionate, genuine sales director with expertise in project management, managing teams and generating revenue, but the word isn't sales manager for the job and the word is sales director, then that's all you're changing. Your core competencies are the same no matter what industry you go into, no matter what job title you go after. I understand if you're an actor and you have an acting resume and then that's one thing. But for example, Maddie has expertise in both the retail and the e-com. These will just confirm that they're the same job, different delivery model. So everything she did in both of those career paths are similar and applicable to every job that she's going to go after, be it in retail or e-com. So therefore, it's just that one little switch that we need to do. And I share this because if you haven't nailed your core competencies, which are what go before you, that purpose, that brand, that profile, right? Then it's, you know, it's, I got turned off for 1 sec. If you haven't nailed that, that's what you are and what you do and what you offer. You offer it in every category you go after. So Maddie, that's a loving. As I said, you'll get to know me. I'm a little swift kick in the pants. I just don't want you guys to spin wheels, right?
Thank
And
you.
to have, yeah, have resumes here and resumes there. You know, the other thing is simple, as dumb as this is, I need your resume to be titled Amy Cole Resume.com. Right? Word doc, or .pdf, so it saves it saves it layout. I am a recruiter. You write to me. I download that quickly to then upload it into my applicant tracking service. If it says the word resume, what the heck? My whole desktop will be filled with the word resume. Do me a favor. Throw us a bone. Throw us a bone. We're getting 500 resumes for job listings. Your first and last name clear, resume, done. If you want to write resume 2020, a lot of people do that. 2021, a lot of people do that. That's okay. When I see the ones that say retail, planning, I know they've got 800 resumes behind them, right? So try to do that man or woman a favor, is what I'm sharing, is what I'm trying to share here with you guys. And keep it clean and kind of keep it a little bit organized for us. That helps us. Now, something just, Veronica Pagani, let's say hello. I just see you. I'm sorry, I didn't realize. Yeah. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. So your name, your title, and your industry.
Veronica Pagani. I have been an executive in the fashion industry for 15 years. I've worked for Ralph Lauren for that amount of time as a vice president of raw material sourcing.
Oh, great. Okay.
Head of the fabric department. I was leading the design, the R&D, as well as the operations.
Nice. And so what's happening in your world right now, except that gorgeous background?
What happened? Well, I lost my job in April, a month into the pandemic. I've been, I've had the Ralph Lauren gave me a career coach for 10 months, which was very nice to utilize that service. So they did do my LinkedIn profile and my resume. And I've been actively searching for the past couple of months. I took some time to go back to school a little bit, and I opened a consulting company thinking that if the market wasn't hiring full time, I could go in as a consultant. Back into looking for full time as of January 4th. That my kids went back.
Okay. And how are you feeling right now within the marketplace? Are you going after it through one-on-one connections? Are you?
Yeah, I'm networking. That's what I'm doing. I actually I've been luckier when recruiters have found me through LinkedIn, and I got interviews, or HR departments have found me, and I got some interviews that way. I haven't been lucky just by sending my resume out there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm basically networking.
Okay. So nice to meet you. I don't know, how did you find us? How did you find us, Veronica?
Oh, but networking, Patricia.
Oh, Patricia Mosley?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. Nice. Are you on the West Coast?
I'm on the East Coast.
Oh, you're on the East Coast. Okay. Well, nice to meet you. Very nice to meet. Welcome. I hope you enjoyed today. This is great to have you.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay. So guys, listen, interesting for Veronica, black hole. She's mentioning the black hole. It is important that we network through people. I'm going to tell you right now, recruiters, yes, we've got a few recruiters on. We've got Jamie on the call. We've got Lisa Plant on the call. We're all recruiters. We can do everything we can do. We can market you as much as we can market you. But if the company's not calling me to fill the role, the company unfortunately runs my ship, right? So you do need men and women within your circles that you can try to empower your pathway to an HR person or directly to that hiring manager. And that's what I always want to share, that to be very upfront and transferable right now, or I guess I should say transparent, because I want to tell you that I can sing your praises all day long, and I can, but if the company's not using me to hire, then singing your praises isn't helping so much. Now, Veronica's mentioning HR directors have found her. That is a good thing. Again, you want your brand to be succinct. Yes, Liesl, thank you, my darling. Everything, and we're going to hang up too, but so, you know, everything needs to be succinct and tied up in a bow, is why I share Job Search University and why I share the opportunity to come together every Wednesday and learn a little bit more about how you can position yourself for the market that is today. So we will see you next Wednesday. Don't forget negative delete, right? Let's live beyond our feelings. Let's know of our wonderful worth and our value. And it is such a treat to be with you guys. So talk to you soon. And we'll see you next Wednesday. Nice to meet everybody, and goodbye, everybody. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Ciao, ciao, guys.